What's going on, y'all? What's going on? We back. Ill
We
advised.
back.
Ill
The
advised,
Vibes
guys. It's your
guys are
boy Scott
back.
Paul.
It's your boy Michael Worthy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We took a little break from the last one. We're trying to do these twice a week, so things got a little crazy. But thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure to subscribe. Make sure to follow us on Instagram. The illintent.media page, and I am Scott Paul. Mike Worthy. What's your tag, Mike?
Oh, Worldwide Worthy 777. I just
Yeah,
changed it like a few months ago, so I'm
there you
still trying
go.
to get used to the handle. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
Worldwide
yeah.
Worthy
Y'all don't know,
777.
man. He used to be in the shadows, man. He used to be in the shadows.
Yeah, yo, I'm like Assassin's Creed over here.
Yeah, yeah, man. But yeah. So y'all know, yeah. Thanks for tuning in again. We like to
Thank you.
bring you guys in on just our discussions when we talk about just what's going on in the world and current events. So me and Mike work on music and different money moves. So we thought it'd be cool to just bring everybody in and we have some cool conversations. We want to build with people that are interested in these topics as well. So yeah, man, I don't know where to start. There's
It's been
been
like a lot going on. Yeah, it's been
there's
and it's I say it so suddenly, like it's been a lot going on when really
mm,
it hasn't. But
mm.
it just been a lot of what I feel like too, Scott, like
Bro, there is a lot
um
going on, man. But I think it's just
it
that there's
is.
always a lot going on. Is that at no
Right.
point, you know what I'm saying? At no point is there
I feel
nothing going on, especially because news is so globalized now. We just
it
know everything.
is. It is. It
So
is. And so immediate. It's so immediate, man. And on top of that, like I still feel like despite of like the height and traffic of what goes on in the world, it's still like the world operates on tradition. Like this is like
mm,
August. So August is supposed to be
mm.
like vacation, quote unquote party month.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
even though
yeah.
things are trying to get crazy, people are still trying to relax.
Yeah, yeah, bro. That's a
It's like,
fact.
yo,
That's
the
a
problems could
fact.
wait.
That's a fact, bro.
But
Yeah, cause
yeah, man, it's been some stuff going on, music, politics, world news.
speaking on music, have you heard? So there's some new music out. I didn't get to dive into the whole. Did you listen to the new Chance the Rapper tape yet?
I've heard the track list. I heard some features. I think Young Thug's in a project. It's another A-lister that
Yeah,
was named.
he's got a lot of people on. Look it
Gunner. Is
up.
it Gunner? Yeah,
Let me
yeah.
look
Pull
it
that up,
up.
Scotty, because yeah,
Yeah.
and while you do that, because I think like he's been making his name Starline, which is named after Marcus Garvey. What would have been
Oh,
Marcus
really?
Garvey's cruise line? Yeah, was Black
Oh,
Star. So this
really?
is called yeah. So this is called I think Starline, or I think the name of it was Starline, which is named after Marcus Garvey's boat
Hmm.
company. And it has like some very um black themed top like black themed name music.
Hmm.
So like and of course those features supported. So I haven't had a chance to really delve into it. Like Chance has been kind of low key and quiet the past few years, like, especially
Yeah,
ever
for a
since like whatever
minute.
has been going on. Yeah, like in his personal life.
Yeah.
So and I've never really given Chance's material a solid chance.
Like a
No
real
pun
chance.
intended.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I know that was it acid rap that made him famous.
Yo, acid rap is
Well,
what like really took them all. And so you haven't heard acid rap?
I haven't heard acid rap,
Okay,
and I also
acid rap is a dope tape. So I had in 2013 one of my first big shows. It was at the Stone Pony in Asbury Park, New Jersey, and I opened for I actually closed the show for Mac Miller, Meek Mill, and Chance the Rapper. They were all there
that's
on one night. Yeah, I gotta bring that. I,
someone will
I
say
have
it's made up.
yeah,
Yes,
yo. If there wasn't pictures and videos, people would say that it was AI.
yo, it's made up.
Um,
Yo, for real,
Yeah, I got to bring the
that's
the poster out
crazy.
here, but there's like the official poster for the event. It just has them on Mac Miller, Meek Mill, Chance the Rapper, like
Rest in
Scott
peace,
Paul's on
man.
that thing too, bro. So yeah, it's dope. But
Yeah, bro.
so
That
I
was greatness.
remember, and this was 2013. So this was like just when he was pop. I think 2013 might have been the year that he popped off. So at this time, I
Yep.
never even heard any of his stuff. But when I was telling people about the show and I was selling tickets for the show, a lot of my fans were like very excited that Chance was going to be on there. So I didn't listen to him until after the show, and I was
Mm-hmm.
like, "Yo, this kid is talented, bro. He's
Mm.
so like."
Mm.
I
Did you
literally
get the
want you to
opportunity to
I literally
interact with him?
want you to listen to that tape first before you
Yeah,
even listen
yeah.
to this one, so that you could also
Okay.
understand like what like really what the hype was. Because I heard somebody saying like I saw this comment that was saying that Chance was supposed to be he was supposed to be one of the big three. Like the way he kind of popped off, you would have thought that he would have been an inevitable rap leader. You know what I mean?
Right,
And
right.
and
And the
that's
cult following.
yeah, and that's not what it ended up being. But the talent is very much there. So it definitely check that out. And then so I haven't listened through Starline
I'm gonna check
yet.
it out. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out because
Yeah.
I like a vocal point to go off on and to compare something to, especially like your best body of work, what people
Mm,
call that best body of work.
yeah.
And you probably didn't pick up on it, but did you have a chance to interact with them at that time?
No, bro, not at all. The only one I actually got to chop it up with at all was it was actually Mac, and it was just
Mac, I
for a
know.
second, yeah, because
Yeah.
they were all in in performance
Yeah,
mode, and it was
yeah,
a packed
exactly.
lineup, so it was just a lot of
Of
in and out. But
course.
yeah, and bro, man, Mac Miller, bro, talking about a performer, he was the first like rapper that I'd ever seen go and rap, and then like go on the drums and then grab a guitar. Like he was a
Wow.
instrumentalist as well. Yeah, he was very talented like
Wow. I
that.
had no idea. I had no
Yeah, rest in
idea,
peace, Mac
man.
Miller.
Rest in
Um,
peace, Mac, bro.
but yeah,
Mm.
Chance definitely had a place going as well. So okay, so he's back with his long-awaited second album, Starline. Okay, fans are already crowning it the best new release. Okay, so
Of
these
the
are
week.
polls. These aren't numbers. Okay, but I wanted to get into. You said he has some good. Okay, this isn't. Man, I thought this
I'm
was gonna
Jamaican.
talk about just the album. I wanted to see what features are on this thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I know for one off the top of the dome was Young Thug. It's somebody else that's a big name too. That name rings bells. It was Young Thug and somebody else, and um, I think it was Mark Lamont Hill on Joe Button
What?
podcast.
Oh, I thought you were saying
Yeah,
Mark
Lil
Lamont Hill
Wayne.
was on the
Yeah,
album.
not yeah.
I,
Hey, you know
okay,
what? Would have been a good touch.
that'd be
I would
fire.
have put yeah, like in a skit or something. I would have put Mark Lamont Hill.
Yeah, that'd be dope. But okay, you
But
got Lil Wayne, Young Thug, Joey
yes,
Badass,
yes.
Vic Mensa,
Joey's
another
doing it.
Chicago cat, Baby Chief Do
Let's
It, another
talk.
Chicago cat, Jay Electronica.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, yeah. And just a quick
Mm,
as my man the company man would say, 1 second to pause for Joey
yeah.
Badass. Joey's doing his thing, bro. Like Joey's really
Joey's
like
having a
low key.
year, bro.
He is, man. So I think it should get recognized, man. Like so props to
Yeah,
him and making his rounds and killing what he's on. You know, he's not
100%.
like just showing up and just like taking up space. My man is like, yo, not only am I here, I'm gonna take up space, but you're gonna remember what I said because
Yeah.
his Big Sean interview on, excuse me, Big Sean and Ab Soul freestyle. I watched it grow.
Yeah.
I would
The
go back and check it.
the Red Bull
Oh my
joint.
God,
Yeah.
millions in the M's. I watched it go for a couple 100,000. It just
Yeah.
grew like within a matter of days. They had like over 1 million views. So
Mm.
props to the consistency. I feel like it's a lot of people who didn't know who he was this year, who's like kind of like their ears are percolating and they're going in to go search and do their
Yeah.
and do their Googles about him. So props to him, and not to take nothing away from Chance and Starline, but I just want to kind of
Yeah,
highlight that since he is a feature on the album.
Joey Badass definitely deserves his flowers. Definitely
Yeah,
deserves his
he
flowers.
does.
It's crazy because probably more people at this point recognize him for his, his role on like
Is
it's
it
not
Power?
raising. It's a Raising Canaan. Raising
Yeah,
Canaan.
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's Power
Or just
related.
like his acting roles. Because I just watched something. It's something older that he was in. Damn, what was it? He's an incredible actor,
Yeah,
bro. He's an
he
incredible
is.
actor.
He's
He's
talented, man.
he's
Joey is
legit, bro.
talented,
He's
bro. He
legit.
is
Yeah,
legitly talented, bro.
yeah.
And especially like for a New York City artist, like an
Mm.
authentic. I mean, he's from Brooklyn.
Yo,
You know
he's
what I'm
so New
saying?
York
Like,
too, bro. That's the
yeah,
thing.
man.
That's the thing. As an East Coast cat, you know the vibes. It's good to see. It's good to see him be himself, and
Yeah,
he's been on since he was so young, and
facts, facts.
he hasn't lost. I don't know. He never went Hollywood. He's still, you know
You
what
know
I
who
mean?
he reminds me of?
Mm.
But in his own pocket, he's like Wiz. You know,
Yeah.
he's like Wiz Khalifa,
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
just out of the way, just in his
Mm.
own lane,
In his own lane,
very
doing his thing.
noticeable,
Yeah.
doing so they don't get in anybody's way, and noticeable, and when he says something, people listen, you know.
Yeah.
So
No
it's
facts.
not like, yeah. So he kind of reminds me of a Wiz, but just a little more grit.
Yeah.
Excuse me, just a little more
Nah, for
grit,
sure.
and a little more lyrical, miracle.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. Big shout out, Showy Badass. But
That's a
yeah. So
joke.
Chance Scott. I mean, y'all saw the list before. He's got a lot of good features on the album. Definitely go
Some big
check out
names.
Starline. What was that?
Yeah. I said definitely some big names, and
Yeah.
like you mentioned, go check it out, and that way, I think next episode we'll give a much more tasteful
Yeah. We'll give like actual
review
feedback.
about it. Yeah, like what people should do, and not just
Mm-hmm.
hear something in a day and be like, oh, this is trash.
And
This
that's
is
why
hot.
I started listening to it today. I'm not going to talk about it today. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
I
live
need
with
to
it.
listen through it, sit with it, because he's an artist. There's a lot.
That's
I've
like
heard a little bit of it so far, and I like what I heard so far. So I'm excited to see what the rest of the album sounds like. For
same
sure.
and
Yeah,
shameless plug, but it's like you just released a single, 8-8.
I did. Oh yeah,
You,
yeah.
hello, live with it,
Top
live
two
with
is
it.
out now. Top
Top
two is
two is
out
out
now.
right now, bro.
Yeah,
Right now.
yeah.
And
I got
it
another thing
sticks,
coming
bro.
next month, and I got another thing coming a month after that. We might
Nah,
drop a
nah.
little. So my plan is to drop a 10 song album by the end of the year. I really want to get that
Nice.
out. There's a lot of music I've
Nice.
been on, and I'm trying to get in the habit of not sitting on music. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm just getting back in my bag right now. Y'all know I've been
Mm-hmm.
in the process of building up, my businesses.
An
We got
empire. An
GWD that we about to
empire.
get going. Yeah, the empire.
An
There's a lot,
empire.
going behind the scenes. So, this independent thing that we're doing, it's not just I'm doing, but we're doing. Um, I want to make sure that we're
It's
on
a lot of
solid
muscle.
ground. Yeah,
A lot of muscle involved,
yeah,
and to cut into what Scott, just said, is really when you're dealing with it hands on and independently, and when you're a perfectionist like Scott is, and I don't say that in the cliche term of it,
mm,
it's really in the sense of like when the cards are stacked this high and the
mm,
moves are just as calculated.
mm.
Scott and I always reference sports, man. And one thing about a good football play is one play off, one person off the
Yeah,
harmony can throw this whole thing off. So,
absolutely.
when we kind of, and we're doing our best, like Scott said, to do this thing twice a week. We want to remain consistent.
Mm,
But when Scott and myself, and especially Scott, right now because we're highlighting Scott, is presenting a product such as top two and what and this plan for the rollout with music, man, and on top of the other hats that he wears, um, this isn't an easy task. This isn't an easy feat to pull off. So, man, brother, I tip my hat to you, bro. I
Thank
really
you,
do,
thank
man.
you,
And I'm loving top two, bro. I'm loving
thank
top
you,
two, bro.
thank
I'm
you,
loving
man.
top two, bro, for real.
Appreciate it.
So
I
I
have
need
a
folks to go out there and support it for real, like so you can feel the vibe that I feel. Ride with it, live with it.
Yeah,
And next episode, I want to see some comments and in the post, let
word.
me know. I want to see top two comments. I want to see top two. I want to try to get like a little emoji going top two.
Yeah, yeah.
A top hat and a deuce emoji. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. I got
Yeah,
some cool ideas for the music video too. We're gonna get things popping. So yeah, man. I'm
I'm
getting
excited
all
for
my
you.
ducks in a row. I'm getting the Avengers back together. Just getting it all together. We're gonna make some waves. Definitely this back half of 2025. So,
Yeah,
but yo,
yeah.
speaking of independent, so that was also something with Chance that when he came onto the scene, he was. he was independent, and that was something that was really special. He was one of the first. I know, right? I never know how, like, especially at that time, because especially the early 2010s, the independent thing was such a it was like a badge of honor. But then you found out that like a lot of the independents weren't real, or like it was like independent, but they had a major label distribution deal or something like that.
Hybrid.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
hybrid.
Yeah, like those hybrids. So, but Chance, I remember he was one of the people that was like giving music out for free, like acid rap. You couldn't go and buy that anywhere. He was just
Yeah,
like really giving his
yeah.
music out, which I thought was interesting. But I always came from it like, bro, this is expensive to do. So I don't want to get the consumer so conditioned to just getting it for free to the
Right,
point where it
right.
devalues it. And now we're at the point where people press a button and can make a song with AI. So I think maybe I wasn't incorrect in my thinking that we don't want to devalue music too much. But I don't
And I
know.
think also to add to that point,
Mm,
about Chance was think music is ever, and this is for the listeners too. Music is ever, and maybe they know this and pay attention to it and need this note that I'm about to say. It's like it's so ever evolving and growing. At the
yeah,
time when Chance was doing that in 2010, that was the thing to do because 2010 to 2015, it was festival crazy. So
yeah,
if you
yeah, yeah,
generated enough of a cloud, you hopped
yeah,
on the ticket. Your name was on the
yeah,
ticket,
yeah, yeah,
which meant you got money to show up,
yeah.
whether it's a walkthrough or performance money. So
Mm,
if I'm gonna quote unquote, to go for what you said, devalue, or as we used to say in the streets when we hustled, I'm gonna step on the work
mm,
and go out here and sell it for cheap, if not anything, because I'm going to even, like I said, it's ever evolving. Lil Wayne was the first to be doing that. I'm dropping
mm,
mixtapes every month, every other week.
mm,
So
mm,
you diluting the product already. So if
mm.
Chance said, okay, how do I evolve that? And says, all right, well, Chance was one of the first ones to also debut on SoundCloud.
Yes.
You
Yeah,
know,
he was one of the ones who
so
who blew up SoundCloud for sure. Definitely.
and then in return, what you get, like, all right, so on the back end, SoundCloud was giving him some love, and then you
Yes.
also get turnout when bodies show up to the venue and they buying your merch
Mm, yeah.
and selling out tickets, man. So it's a beautiful marriage in that sense. You fast
Mm,
forward a little bit more to Travis Scott, and this is a quick
mm,
segue, but it just paints the bigger picture. When Travis Scott was bundling packages with his album, oh, so if you got if you bought this T-shirt and this merch and this other stuff, you got an album, and that counted as a unit, and that equaled a ticket sale, and it's always evolving. People are trying to find ways. These companies trying to find ways to recoup what they're putting into these artists. Artists aren't really like it isn't really clear cut anymore. Where to the point where, hey, we're making X amount off you off the masters and recordings and publishing,
mm,
and you hit the road, and whatever you make on tour is yours, and we'll probably get a smidgen of that, but hey, whatever you make on tour is yours. But that's why
mm.
artists toured for 2 years. You don't see that
Yeah.
no more.
Yo, speaking of, and I saw academics post this. I don't know how accurate it is, but he was saying how Russ, because I think we referenced last time how Russ is like the
Yeah.
independent GOAT, right? But
Mm-hmm.
he just ended his tour, and academics was saying that he did 14 million on his tour.
Sheesh. Sheesh. Gee.
Yeah, bro. Russ cracked the code, man. Russ cracked the code. I'm
Russ
still trying to
did.
crack catch that motherfucker, bro. He cracked the code,
Yeah,
man.
Russ is, and these guys are models because you know what it is too. And I'm not speaking for Russ,
Mm,
but if I had to pick Russ's brain, if we had the opportunity to get Russ involved as a special guest in this
mm,
podcast, I would even ask Russ, "Hey, Russ,
mm,
did you learn from Tech Nine?
mm,
Because Tech was
mm.
one of the first ones to be
True,
doing it.
true. Absolutely.
Tech had a whole factory, bro.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Tech had a factory where he was pressing up shirts, pressing up CDs, pressing
Mm,
up posters, excuse me, and we'll go hit up a festival, hit up a show, sell 50,000 tickets, whatever.
yeah.
And people, I mean, festivals, not like, hey, I got a concert. Tech was doing festivals. Hey,
Yeah.
Friday to Sunday, and that's however many bodies that came a day to see Tech Nine
Yeah.
and buy merch. You know, what was the name? His Twisted Minds, I think it was, whatever his label is. But you know, really the first he cracked the code. Tech Nine cracked the code, and then we could again. It's ever evolving. Before Tech Nine, it
No,
was a
no,
Master P.
exactly. If there wasn't a Tech Nine, there wouldn't be a Russ. Like there's always people who lay the groundwork for the next person to
Take the
come and
arrows.
do it better. Yeah,
Yes, to
yeah,
go over that hill,
100%.
take the arrows, bro. Because
Yeah,
before him, it was P, and before, and matter of fact, before I can say before Tech Nine, it was Rockefeller. Before Rockefeller, it was P. You know, like it was people that just took these arrows and took these hits, and to be a music historian, not just to keep it on hip hop, but just a music historian. Like this whole package stuff really came together, in my opinion. And I'm gonna need people in the comments to disprove me. Or Jigga, you know, Jay Z was with the Samsung phone that had the Magna Carta Holy Grail, the Sprint phones that had the album already in it. Like, so,
that was
like, I
so good,
mean,
so good. Yeah,
and that's what we talk about, bro. How genius is that?
yeah,
You know, like let's just applaud it. Like let's stop hating
yeah.
on it. Let's just applaud it. Let's improve on it. You
That's it.
know,
Just build on it. Like, so that was never repeated for a reason. People didn't like it, but he still went platinum off that. Like, you know,
it
he
counts.
still got those numbers. You know what I
The
mean?
stats count, you know.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so
Nah,
to
facts.
me, that's the overall like victory of it all. Like, hey, is it a win? And even if Jigga lost, right? Let's just say Jay Z went out there and it flopped. The idea working? Did the idea work? Like, because if the idea worked, then that's all that mattered. Like, you know, I'll take the loss for, let's say, a Travis Scott to pull this off next time.
Yeah,
You
bro.
know?
Exactly. Just we're talking about trailblazers. You know what I'm saying?
Trail, there we go. That's the
You know,
verbiage
I'm
I
a
would use.
blazer trail.
Trailblazer.
I may not, get all the way to the end of wherever, or I might not get there the smoothest way, but the next person who follows this path is going to be able to take it further because they didn't have to do all this weed whacking. You know what I mean? They didn't have to
That's
get
a whole fact.
brush everything out the
Whew.
way. So,
Go through
yeah,
the jungle.
yeah, yeah, man. Shoot,
That's all.
let's keep it music. I think last time we talked about Drake a little bit. Um, Yo, so I've been hearing a lot is how there's no song of the summer. So two themes actually, two themes. That
I'm
and
hearing that
also
too. I'm hearing
separate,
that
but I
too.
think is related is that I heard somebody saying that like was it music or just hip hop is not as exciting with Drake not as the lead. And
I've heard that too.
I've heard that too, right? So I don't So and not that I don't agree with that because I think there's so by bro, hip hop is actually very dope right now, man.
It is.
I mean
Hello.
between clips, I don't know if you heard the JIT album. I'm still working my way through the JIT
Yo,
album,
I
JID.
need to, man. All right, now
Yeah.
now I'm going to. Now I'm really
Yeah,
going to
yo,
because like,
same.
yeah,
I didn't want to bring it up
yeah.
because I don't have a valid excuse not to have heard it yet. I'm just busy. You know what I'm saying? But I've heard great things about that album.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm missing one project as well. There was the clips. There was Jid. There was a big one that I'm missing that I guess was another great project. And it was
Juicy J.
heard about that. Did that drop? Is
Yeah, he
Juicy
dropped
J and
two.
it's a collab album, right? Oh
Yeah,
my
he
god,
dropped a jazz album.
no, a
Apparently, a
collab.
jazz album.
No,
No, I know. Yeah. He dropped a jazz collaboration album,
Juicy
and he
J.
also dropped a Juicy J.
Okay, I feel.
Dropped a
Okay,
jazz album,
hey man.
and with legit instrumentalists, like because everyone says like, how do y'all?
Oh yeah, no, it's a new jazz album. Okay, bro.
Told you, like he got a whole stop the violence joint and everything. Like I was like,
Yeah, yeah. I shouldn't. I don't know why I'm laughing. That's
I didn't.
disrespectful.
No,
I
no,
just
no,
when I
no,
hear
no, it's
Juicy
not.
J, jazz
You're
is like the
flabbergasted.
furthest thing that I think of. So that's fire.
Can
Yeah.
you picture? Can you picture Juicy J on the jazz
The thing is,
album?
I
Like,
can't. That's why I laugh.
yeah, ho, yeah.
Yeah, bro. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
You know, but they were saying like if people could criticize Andre 3000 for the
For the
flute
flute.
album,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
how not, you know, but the difference is like in the pushback they were saying like, yo, it's actually real instrumentalists on here. This isn't like
Yeah, yeah.
this is somebody
But
experimenting with the
also
flute.
Andre 3K to the flute is a it's a much shorter leap for me than Juicy J to jazz. So,
Yeah,
but
I can see
yeah,
Juicy
it's
J's
a
in
good
there.
comparison. But yeah, back
Yeah,
to
it is.
so I guess the first point with there's no song of the summer, and I thought that was very interesting, right? Because can you think of a song of the
Yeah.
summer?
Song of the summer that stands out to me.
It's like all the songs that are like really popping this summer, all the things that are getting a lot of replay and stuff. They're songs that came out last year,
Yeah,
or you know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
people still,
yeah.
it's like Shabuzi, you know what I'm saying? It's like a bar song, and it's like the Too Close joint
Boots,
with what's his
boots
name?
to the ground.
Teddy Swims. Yeah, 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 okay, Boots to the Ground. But you know what I mean? There's no like clear like summer song like that,
Indicator.
which is
Yeah,
interesting, And I don't know. So with the other thing, with is music or is hip hop not as not as fun when Drake's not the lead? I don't know. Not that I think Drake has had the summer song for the last 10 years or whatever like that. But I mean, he's always had joints that were going off in the summer, and I think that this is the first summer that Drake didn't have a song.
and I think it's purposeful. I think it's a lot going on behind the scenes that that is going on in regards to the legality and the legal battles that he's facing. Apparently, he's supposed to be going like independent, like full indie. So
So
he
So is that because I haven't heard that. I I think we can make that assumption because of his
it's a
situation
murmur.
with
Yeah,
the
it's a
yeah.
yeah yeah.
But I
It's a
think I mean
murmur.
we've only the only stuff we know about Drake's deals is like stuff that he's mentioned in his song. You know, 500 million just for Aubrey. You know, whatever, right? So
Yeah.
and I guess so. And the reason for this lawsuit is that he's alleging that basically UMG pumped up Kendrick to try to have leverage in their negotiations with Drake as Drake is re-upping his contract. So they're trying to devalue him so that they can come in at a lower number. This is like I guess what he's alleging, or I don't know. That's what I heard. Um,
Hmm.
and I don't know the I'm not a legal expert. I know the optics of this is obviously really bad. You know when
Hmm.
you lose a rap battle, then you sue over the things that were said in the rap battle. But then
Hmm.
also, it's him suing the label for doing these things that the label probably did for Drake all these years.
Hmm.
You know,
And
so then for him to be going at the label, and then this is the first time. Like, look at which what did I miss? You look at which one. Both of them joints are sliding.
they are sliding. And then you had this that I gotta add to the screen, which is this right here, and it's
Oh yeah,
UMG
yeah.
CEO hits back at Drake's demands for his emails is what's that, farcical and
Mm-hmm.
ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So he's busting out the SAT words on Drake,
He
and
looks like a guy
clearly,
that would say farcical and ridiculous.
and he looks like a guy who doesn't miss what you say. Like he
Yeah.
catches everything.
Mm-hmm.
He catches everything. With those. So, um,
Yeah.
it goes on just to kind of elaborate just to kind of even summarize that Lucian even said that he runs a multi-billion-dollar company that is present in 60 countries and 200 markets. I don't have time for this, Aubrey.
And like,
Is no.
we're always gonna ride on the artist side, right? We're always gonna be we're always going to be biased toward the artist, right? But to what he was saying, he's like, I didn't hear Not Like Us until everybody else heard it. I didn't see the videos. Like he's not in the minutia of, he's not micromanaging. He's not in the those
Mm,
aspects of one of his, the empire that is Universal. So
facts.
it's just, I'm a
It's a plethora of
Joe.
things this
Drake
man
has been
juggles.
good. Wait, say that again.
It's a plethora of things this man juggles, and here's Aubrey like, yo, I want the
No,
details of his.
yes, like I don't like coming at Drake
Me neither. I
because
mean,
I
I'm
think it's
lying.
also that there's just a lot of Drake haters that are just so annoying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There's just a lot of them that are so annoying, and I think that for any person, there's legitimate, probably grievances or flaws that you could point out, whatever it is. Um, but Drake has just always attracted like hate,
yeah.
and separate from like the fair criticisms. And so, and also I've just been, he's made so much great music. I've been a fan of his music for so long. So
Oh yeah. I
I don't
mean,
like speaking bad of the boy, but man, the boy's looking crazy right now,
the
bro.
boy looking. You know what it is too. I think like gloves are off, and it's to the point where, and no one. I pull up my Instagram and it's Scott Paul.
Mm.
And like I think what's also happening with when it comes to Drake is that Drake Drake's brand and Ice of the Joe Button podcast alluded to this is that he's quote unquote bigger than hip hop, right?
Yeah,
And he's saying that this beef or this quarrel has evolved to the point where it's affecting business outside of just hip hop and rap. Allegedly, this is holding up apparel rollouts of like Nike. And this is holding up some branding deals overseas, which is, some people are rumored why he's going so hard with the European tour. Is to kind of win back some good graces and save face. But they're saying that this PDF file accusation is lingering to the point, especially in today's climate of political awareness and just branding awareness, that people want to be careful of who they're standing next to in
man,
regards of their
that's
personal
annoying as
life.
hell. If that's real, Drake is still the most streamed hip hop artist, out there. And it was a battle, bro. If that'd be crazy if that's what it is. Because what it appears like from the outside is that the boy is in his feelings. Got me in my feelings. Hey, gotta be kiki. So it just looks like he lost the game, and
He's
then
sour about it.
you know what I'm saying? And now he's going to the ref trying to like rewrite the rules and say like, no, that guy stepped on a line, or you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Like that's what it looks like. Because I mean, just it's I
He
mean, it
wants
was
to Michael
bad, bro.
Jordan it. He wants to Michael Jordan. Like it's like that famous clip of Michael Jordan. I think I said this before on another episode. Is when Mike was like, "Yo, ref, the guy fouled me," and then the ref goes, "Mike, I didn't see a foul, but if you said
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
call a foul." I was like, "Yo, what?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
yo, ref,
No.
yo,
I just
no." I don't care if it's Mike. Like, so I think like at this point, like Drake's looking for that treatment, and I feel like just like you said, like you've been winning for so long that
bro, so
and this is the
long. Bro,
it's the
even
way
his
you've been
losses,
winning
he
too.
ended up on top. You feel me? Think about
And
like,
as I said, it's the way you've been winning. It's the way you've been
yeah,
winning.
yeah.
And like people have likened before, same podcast, Ish and them said how when Jay Z took on Nas and he lost, that Jay still dropped some of his best work on the Blueprint
Mm,
too, some of the hardest raps. However, it was still clear to the people that you lost. Like the
mm,
streets have spoken. Ether
yeah,
took your head off.
yeah.
And I'm going to forever say this, and I want to always remind the people: Yo, I was around for it. In fact, I was a teenager when this happened. Yo, Jay was gone the whole summer. You didn't see
Yeah,
him.
yeah,
He,
yeah,
this nigga was tucked away. I don't care what nobody say. Yo, Hove was across the world. He didn't want to hear nothing to
yeah.
do with Nas, bro. And the difference between now and then, I mean, then and now and then is that it's more occurrent. Like you can't, yo. I just seen it. I was going to share my screen. I was trying to find it. I'll probably, if it even means anything to the next episode, they showed Drake leaving his hotel in Germany, and they said that he's the closest thing we're gonna get to Mike. Yo, you should have seen the amount of people
I
outside this
saw,
dude's
I
hotel.
saw. Yeah, yo, but
Whether
that's why the idea that brands don't want to work with him because he took a loss is crazy. Because who else are they gonna work with if not Drake? Drake's still
yo,
the people are still streaming
the
his
cash
music
cow.
more than any other rap. Like, yeah, he's still Drake. The best thing that he could do is, I just maybe I just need to do a deep dive on his lawsuit to
You
understand
should.
it better. But I just remember, I mean, him talking about them inflating the song to make it not like us. Like they, like they're reducing it. When I was old enough to remember when Not Like Us came out, and I'm old enough to remember that the same night that it came out, there was hella videos that people were posting that night. The DJs were playing it in the club that night. You know what I'm saying? DJs were playing it in the club 2 hours after it came out. People
Should
were
think it was
making
synchronized.
dances to it. You know what I'm saying? At like
Yeah,
there was nothing manufactured. It was the most organic, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying, thing ever.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
this idea that it got to where it was because somebody juiced it. It's like you're not reading the room.
You're not. You're just that disassociated from
Yeah,
society, brother. Like this is
yeah,
how fast stuff is going.
yeah. Like
Like,
it's got to be his boys telling him like, nah, people ain't feeling that.
nah,
And then he sees him
AI.
performing on the Super Bowl, so he's like, "How is he doing that? If nobody's feeling it, I'm suing the label." Like there has to be some sort of like crazy distortion going on because, yeah,
Three
that argument
Ds.
was crazy. What was that?
Three Ds. Three pause. Three Ds. Disassociation, distortion, and delusion. Those three, bro. And I'm not saying like we solved it, but yo, it has to be those elements, and of course, sprinkling ego. Sprinkling
Yeah,
ego
yeah,
because people don't understand either. Like with the fact that we could be feeling him to sue, you don't know how it feels to wake up to be Aubrey and to go out here to go outside and be hearing like A minor or like ain't no telling what that do to him.
yeah.
Yo, you and I got some pretty tough skin. I would like to
Mm,
think so,
mm,
but there are still things that bother me, Michael Worthy, that I just won't speak
mm,
on camera right now. But there's still
mm,
certain things that could irk me.
mm,
I'd be like, yo, I just ain't at my age still haven't
mm,
developed or evolved to the point where it's just like, yo, that doesn't bother me. I feel
mm,
like Kendrick has taken time between dropping these albums to
mm,
evaluate and work on self to the
mm,
point where shit don't bother him.
mm.
When he said on the Clips album, therapy taught me I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, yeah,
Yo, son, this man,
yeah.
this is you're talking to a man who is centered,
But you, but
who self reflect and bro, he's a centered man, bro.
yeah, and Kendrick, but
Like,
Kendrick also said in, I think it was in Euphoria, he said only you like being famous, right?
oh God,
So Kendrick, I think the like all that stuff is not even that important for him. Where you feel me? Where Drake, that's like a big part of it. So I think having the public discourse to be, because when the Meek Mill battle, everybody wanted Drake to win. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
The Pusha T
yeah,
battle, everybody wanted Drake to win.
yeah,
The
but he
Kendrick
didn't.
battle
But yeah,
was like, I think people were like, let's see how this plays out. You feel me? It was like, if Drake wins, cool. I love Drake, but like Kendrick is also
yeah,
Kendrick. Like, let's see how this plays out. And
yeah.
I mean, Drake
And,
was all
and
about
J
it.
Cole, he
Drop,
was
drop, drop,
drop,
drop. He
drop.
was telling them to,
On
hey, bro,
taunting.
He was taunting him, and then and the other thing that drives me crazy about the lawsuit, right? And like because the whole PDF file thing brought up, and how that's whatever damaging to his character or whatever, and even the colonizer
Mm-hmm.
line and not like us. I guess that was like a thing, but it's like in Family Matters, you said that he beats his
Pretty
wife
explicit.
and that one of his kids is his managers.
Come on,
Bro, if you
bro.
say those things about me, there's nothing that's off limits. You feel me? Like if you
And
say
now
that about
requesting
another
DNA
man,
tests.
say again.
And now requesting DNA tests in this lawsuit, bro.
It's like how low do you think you're allowed to go, and then you're gonna like you know sue the other person? Like if you say those things, there's nothing that's out of bounds anymore. That's how I felt after Family Matters when you know what I mean. None of the ties
Mm-hmm.
is granted routine to cover the fact you beat on your queen. No, 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 no. You did. That was
Yeah,
when I
it
didn't
is.
like the
Yeah,
battle anymore, bro. That's when I was like, damn, I don't even like this anymore, bro.
his arrogance showed.
Cause I'm like, just keep it music. Keep it on like keep doing the short jokes. He had hella funny short jokes on Kendrick, bro. He was cracking me up. But then like when you go
Hmm.
low, you can't get mad when somebody else goes lower. You know what I mean?
Yo, you should have learned that from the Book of Hove, bro. When he spoke on Nas's baby mother, he spoke on Carmen. I skated, left Connors in the baby seat. Me and the boy AI got more in common than just bowling and ramen. Get it? More in common. Nigga, why? You know what I'm saying? And the reason why, and I may get a little backlash from this, whatever. I never really cared for Irv Gotti like that. So, me not saying rest in peace to Irv Gotti, whatever, like I don't care about contributions to the culture. Irv to me is just like you gotta end how you start, bro. So you came into this industry like just supposedly hot A&R, but then you kind of like your reputation and everything got stifled with your recent behaviors towards Ashanti and whatnot. But long story long, the rumor has it that he put the battery in Jay's back to respond to
To go
Nas
there like
like
that.
that.
Got you.
And it makes me think about Drake. Who was in your ear? Who put the battery in your back to go to respond to Kendrick that fashion,
Like that.
and to say that,
Yeah.
and to add to an earlier statement that you made about when you said that the people were championing him in those first few battles. I think what changed about this element was it was also the fact that the quote unquote big three were
Exactly.
now getting named. So this would have been equivalent to in the '90s if Biggie, Jay, and Nas would have had a beef,
Yeah,
which
yeah.
it was looking that way because Biggie did have beef with Nas. This is before your
Mm,
time. That's
mm,
what Kicking the Door was for.
mm.
Go listen to a song called "Last Real Niggas Alive" by Nas on Nas Godson album. This is for anybody that's like younger than if you was born before 2003, go listen to Nas Godson album.
uh,
And it's a song called "Last Real Niggas Alive," and Nas
mm,
breaks down everything.
mm,
Everything. If you never heard that song before, it's on Nas Godson album. It's called "Last Real Niggas Alive," and he
mm,
break down everything. This is unfiltered, like rawness. This isn't a diss tracker, a diss track. This isn't a beef record. Yo, this is like I'm providing backstory and some clarity to why Jay and I have gotten here.
mm.
And I feel like whoever it's going to be, whether it's Drake, matter of fact, it can't come from Drake. It has to come from like a Kendrick or a J. Cole. And J. Cole, matter of fact, it has to come from J. Cole. And J. Cole, because he's a third person antagonist in this. So
Mm,
like you would have to be like, yo, listen, this is how, based upon my data, how all three of us got here.
mm,
Like
mm,
this is last real niggas alive 2026. This is what happened. I said
mm.
this, Kendrick said this, Drake said this. Now here we are, and I backed out.
Mm,
and because this nigga said these niggas were saying this, and
mm.
he's the middle person. He knows from both ears. Yo, Kendrick was like, "Yo, fam, I'm about to unload
Yeah,
hell."
yeah,
Drake
yeah,
was like, "Yo, gloves are off. I'm
yeah.
not playing with him no more. I'm sick and
Mm.
tired of him. He's been dissing me for the past 10 years.
10 years,
It's
yeah.
over." And then it's just like, all right, like gloves off, and just to kind of put a button on it. I wish I would have had this prep, but and when I say shout out, it ain't like a big up. I'm saying like sometimes niggas talk too much. I don't give a shit about your experience, any of that's in the industry. Bagfield, Esso, and I forgot my other man name from Bagfield when they were saying that hip hop ain't fun no more because Drake isn't outside with the whores.
Oh yeah, that's what it was, bro. That's what it
The
was
fuck?
crazy. Yeah.
The fuck?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah.
I almost cursed. Yo,
Yeah. It's like,
the
and this is
whore?
where it's
Where
like
we at?
thank you for zeroing in on like why people think Drake's problematic. You know what I'm saying? If like if
At
the
40.
you know what I'm saying? But like, if his contribution to the culture is that he brings horrors out, it's like,
Whores. Whores.
there's got to be more to it at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because like
Yo.
my again, longtime Drake fan. At this
Hmm.
point, I would love to see him elevate the culture. He
Yeah.
has all the cachet to do it. He has all the cachet to do.
Yeah.
He has all the money to do it. He can go independent. He doesn't have to listen to somebody else's input on what he has to do with his music. I feel like he can elevate the culture. He doesn't need to sell any more albums. He doesn't need any like he can tour off of his catalog. Even if from here on out he made different music that elevated the culture but wasn't mainstream, wasn't grabbed by the mainstream and all that,
Successful.
he could
Right.
still tour off his old shit. You know what I'm saying? He has
Yeah.
1 million number one songs. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
Like
my
he has more
God.
great songs than anybody if he wants to do that. But what I would love to see, and I think a lot of people who grew with Drake, what we like to see is growth. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like,
Elevation.
because I think that for a lot of us, it wasn't Drake wasn't a character to us. Drake was um, Drake was a person who was letting us in on his journey, and we got to. Drake's been a smart, thoughtful person when he came out in 2009. You know what I'm saying? So to see this intellectual, thoughtful person evolve or devolve into the person who brings out the horrors, that's what he's expected to do. It's like, you know what I mean?
And you said '09 as far as his album debut, I think it was '09, '10.
I
But
think that's
Drake's been
so far
lingering
gone. But yeah, he was
so
obviously,
far gone.
right before
Yeah,
that.
'07. Because shout out to my cousin Chris. My cousin Chris is the one that put me on to him. Um, he was like, "You ever heard this Drake guy?" I'm like, "Who?" Like, because I'm like, "The Cake," like what? Like Drake, and but yeah, again, to piggyback on what you just said, I agree, and I've said this before. I said this in conversations with people. I am 2 months older than Drake. 2 months and some change older than Drake. So when it comes to me, I would love to hear growth. I don't want like I would love to hear growth and evolution. I don't want to hear um something that a 25-year-old is doing. And it makes me really question like who your core audience and your target audience is. So when you start to make music in that fashion, or when you catering music in that fashion, especially at our age. Drake, you're 39. You're 39 with a child, and you have a child. Not
You have a
saying
child.
you are hiding a
You are
child.
hiding a child.
You are hiding evidence. Not like yo, Drake, like, and I'm not saying like societal standards type of thing, but like
Mm,
it becomes. I think about Andrew Schultz, right? Andrew Schultz,
mm,
the comedian,
mm.
his now wife, when he first proposed to her, and Charlemagne the God said, "What made you propose?" He goes, I was going around places and I would introduce her as my girlfriend. He goes, at one point, she goes, doesn't that sound a little immature? Like we've been kind of going around for like 2 years, like now, whatever. Doesn't it sound like, and at your age, like you have a girlfriend, like you're not kind of sure about what the, especially like at and this goes to anybody too, not just the famous people, brother. If you out
Mm.
here with a woman, it's been 2+ years, and you are 35 and up, brother, like it's about time to start making some sound decisions with in openly
Yeah.
communication with you and your partner. Like, what are we doing?
Hmm.
You know, and same goes for that woman. Like, as a man, you shouldn't want to embarrass this woman and her family. Make
Hmm.
her an honest woman, marry her,
Hmm.
or get out the way. So I say all that to say, like, yo, Drake, when as the number, yo, bro, you're the number one guy statistically, and
Yeah,
and
yeah,
maybe even
obviously,
to
yeah.
some people
Hmm.
prospectively.
Hmm.
When does it, like, bro?
Yeah.
What happened? Like, was it really Rihanna?
Yo, maybe it was her or no one else. Maybe she was the only one. She was, but I don't. But yeah, that's. I think we kind of see that in a similar way. So I mean, but again, like I don't know. When I was saying like didn't know if it was a character, I don't know if Drake the artist is this character who like that's the subject matter who he talks about, or if like Drake the person that's just like where he's at and he doesn't have to um yeah, I mean maybe that's just his thing.
This is so you're
I'm
saying with Drake, this is art imitating life, not life imitating art.
you know may I mean I guess so, and I think that is what's disappointing to a lot of people, because Drake, I think for a lot of and there was a lot like the people who hated on Drake always thought that he was I mean I don't know all the reason that people would hate on him, but
You know the commonality. You know the common reasons though.
yeah, people like again there was like a lot of
They think I'm soft. Think I'm innocent.
yeah, all of that, but I think for the people who his lyrics were relatable, and there's like he's such a good songwriter, and he's very good at
Yeah.
his lyrics are very relatable. He's very good at telling his story in a way that was relatable to people, right? And then the way he would match that with how he overcame things and his different levels of success. Like he was always like an aspirational person, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I think
Mm-hmm.
for a lot of young men, we wanted to be able to like grow, like we would want like as we grow in our lives, we expected him, to kind of grow in those same ways. And it's like so Drake again when he popped in like 2009, um, say he has his a lot of his core male fans are say in high school or in college or in their 20s. So now 10, 15 years after that, we're talking about family, man. We're talking about people with responsibilities.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about
Careers.
yeah, careers, right? We're talking about people who really trying to like just do more than. And Pusha T, like Clips is still talking about selling coke, right? They've been doing that for 30 years. But there is like, you know what I mean? But there's if you listen, but there's always been messages to them. So the point is you don't have to change the whole thing, but some like growth would be nice to
It is
see.
growth in it too. Yeah, but you know what it is too. Like I always say, nobody talk that brick talk like Pusha Terrence.
Nobody, man.
You know, but it's a elegance to it.
Yo,
Like
my dad made
he's
sure
not.
we had every base covered, so couldn't imagine his surprise when he seen bass in the cupboard. It's like,
But
oh God, I wish I could say that. I wish I could say these lines, bro.
nigga, I can't.
I'm like,
Like,
yeah, 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 yeah.
let
I'm
me
gonna need you
tell
to
you,
ghostwrite. I'm gonna need you to.
sometimes, boy, I'll be like, God have
But my bad, I cut you off. I cut you off. What was you
take
saying,
the
bro?
tie, nah, girl, listen, take the tie off, nigga. But not
uh,
like, but that's the beauty of it. Like,
mm,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it, it, it was, it's not a braggadocious, I'm still doing this. This is
Yeah.
I've done this to get,
Mm,
and it's brought me to this point. I survived this,
mm,
and it's gotten me to this point.
mm.
You know, um, to revert back to what you said, to keep on this subject matter. I remember when Jeezy and Drake were doing the show somewhere, and Jeezy and then Drake goes, "Yeah." Jeezy comes up to me and he's like, "Yeah, this is like when you got a customer that comes up to you in the trap house and you got your last brick." And Drake's like, "No, I don't know. I
I,
never sold a brick in my life."
yeah. Enlighten me.
You know,
This is my
and
first
like,
time hearing about this experience.
yeah, So he and Snowman just like, well, I'm just trying to illustrate an example,
Mm,
but using facts of his life.
mm.
So when I asked you, is this art imitating life or life imitating art? And I've had this conversations with people, including Shy. Like,
Mhm,
she's like, "Oh, Drake's a cornball," And I'm just like,
mhm.
"Yo, Drake could that could be true, but also in the sense of he's the number one artist is true too. So he's behaving in his mind
Mm.
how whoever it was he idolized, whether it's his dad, a famous artist growing up, how rappers did it. Like I always think back to
Yeah.
Lloyd Banks. Like Lloyd Banks is like, "Yo, I'm a real rapper. Like
Mm,
I smash groupies and I'll leave. Like I'm a real
mm.
rapper." You know what I'm saying?
Groupie
Like
love. Give me that
give me
groupie
that.
love.
No,
Yo,
no, no.
yeah.
Lloyd Banks said, what my man said? I man said, damn, I can't name it right now. I'm having a brain fart right now. But
Um,
yo, my man said, I fuck all 50 fans. The nigga said, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fucking 50's fans. Like, you
yeah.
know,
Yeah.
hell yeah, I'm a rapper. I fuck groupies too. Like,
Mm,
I'm butchering the line, but like,
mm.
Banks was just harping to that. And I say all that to say, like, yeah, like marketing and imaging is everything, and perception is everything in this industry.
Yeah,
We
facts.
can you could market and rebrand yourself to something completely polar opposite of the way you debuted.
Mm.
And you can also market yourself a certain way and really be a certain way.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, I could market myself as a good guy, lovable guy, but deep down inside, I'm a freaking sex deviant,
Mm,
and I can't never get enough, and I like porn stars, like
mm,
your boy.
mm,
You know,
mm.
so I say all that to say, like the fame is such a strong drug. It's giving you
Yeah.
access to things that you
Yeah.
probably would never had access to, women
Yeah.
you never had access to, places you never had access to.
Yeah.
Where and I always say it, like guys like you and I, Mike and Scott, like we could have
Mm,
you could give us the same deal Drake got,
mm,
but those vices won't push us. It could be something
mm.
different for me and Scott.
Yeah.
For me and
Yeah.
Scott, it could be more
Yeah.
money.
Yo,
You can give me and Scott 100.
but also it's like me now, if you give this to me 15 years ago, maybe I
Mm-hmm.
do evolve into something.
True.
You know what I'm
True.
saying?
You're right. That
Um,
much too. You're
yeah,
right.
I never try to, I try to not be too critical of people that are in situations that I couldn't understand.
Same,
You know what I'm
same.
saying? And
Can
that
never
type of,
understand his world.
you know what I mean? That type of money and access and power, the amount of like all that Drake has is something that's kind of unfathomable. Um,
Hmm.
but also like again, kind of going back to it, that is he he just he didn't have to follow anybody's footsteps anymore. He like you know what I mean? Like he
Who
scored
you
more points.
chasing?
He's LeBron. He scored more points than anybody else. You know what I'm saying? He did
Who
the
you
thing.
chasing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just like play your game. And I think that um yeah, I don't know, man. Hip hop did so much good for me. So I would like for the story of hip hop to to just move in a positive direction. I want it to be a positive force because now it's pop culture. It is ingrained in American culture and world culture, really, right? So I would love for the leaders of the genre to either be either be um, either be positive, right, or at least be authentic, right? Because there's just some people their perspective, where they come from, what they know. is what it's gonna be, right? Um, and not to judge Drake's life without living it, but we know that he didn't. Um, I used to watch him on Degrassi. You feel me? When he was a teenager. So it's just hard to fathom that 20 years after that, after becoming the most successful rapper of all time, like like now we get tough guy bars. You know what I mean?
Yo, yo, bro. That's why, like, and it's I'm starting to look at a lot of artists that way. Sometimes I go back and listen to stuff. I'm looking like, dang, man, like when I heard this, when I was 17, 18, this was like some real, dang. Now I listen to it, I'm like, like, I'm poking holes through your story. Like, man, that's really the price you pay for the brick. Like,
Yeah.
like, and to kind of put a button on Drake, I think that once he does find that balanced space again, when he's able to, I don't feel like, even though the body of work he's putting out, I feel like it's like adequate body of work, but it's not the kind of body of work that you've had the time to really put your passion and thought into. It's just like fillers, and not fillers like empty calories. I'm saying like feelers, like feelers. Like
Okay.
I want to see if they still feel me. I want to see if they still resonate with me, and this is why he's doing all this. I love taking walks by myself, bro. Outside, I'm outside, like, bro, nigga. You look scared, and your guard, your guard is about 20 yards, if less than that, away. Like,
Yeah.
yo, I can't, yo. They don't even recognize me. I'm outside, bro. Like, man, stop it, man.
Yeah,
Stop it,
man.
Drake. What are you doing? Like, and you know what? I'm gonna segue. And I don't mean to cut you off,
Yeah,
Scott, but I
you're good.
want to. This topic is lingering to me. Because Drake falls into this, he falls into this category of international artists. Have you heard recently about Tyla, Tyla,
Yeah,
Tyla's?
yeah, yeah. So, I'm not too familiar with her music. I'm probably not her target demo, but I know she's super talented. She's super popping, I guess. And I'm not really sure about what the controversy is. So maybe you can enlighten me.
Yeah, from what I was able to gather, so she made some comments. Of course, I think when she had the water single,
Okay.
and she was doing her rounds, and she made it to the Breakfast Club,
Yeah.
and that's when she had this whole differential thing about being
Black and being
South
colored.
African and black.
Yeah.
Yes,
Hmm.
and it appears like she kind of doubled down on that. It wasn't like, hey, this is something I said at the time, and now my views have evolved and changed, or this is what my publicists were telling me what to say. Like she kind of doubled down on it. And some people were saying, like, in her defense was, well, this is just how they operate in where
Well, so
she's
so so
from.
to be
And
clear, it was somebody asked if she's a black or something like that, and she said, "Nah, she's colored." Was that it
well,
was something
yeah, like
like
she
that,
doesn't
right?
really, yeah, like she doesn't really associate like her colorism, like like because where she's from, it's just like, I'm not black, I'm South African, like like so. Um, that kind of like, if and I could be butchering this, but that kind of rubbed FBA the wrong way, because then she kind of doubled down on these comments along the way, like it was just differentiated, and so now that she has this new album and she dropped this single, it just hasn't done like the numbers that she thought it was going to be doing here in America. In fact, they said that she even debuted at like 4,000, like 4,000 total. So yeah, it was like, whoa. Uh, and this
Say I
is
didn't
black.
make
This is
the
like the
list. Don't tell me 4,000. That's crazy. Say I didn't make the list, bro. Don't tell me I came in 4,000. That's wild.
yeah, yeah. Like she sold like 4,000 copies. Like it like debuted
Yeah.
like for 4,000 copies. So
Mhm.
yeah,
Okay, I thought
again,
she said she came in number 4,000. Okay, 4,000 copies,
oh
which
no,
is still very bad
no.
for international pop star like she is. I mean,
International,
I
yes.
wonder if that has something to do with it. So I remember that at the time, and I remember when they brought that up on the Breakfast Club. And something that we have to remember is that being black, right? That we have to remember that race is a social construct. We have to remember that race was
Hmm.
created to justify a racial hierarchy and to justify slavery, right?
Right.
So, like in Africa,
Colorism.
there's no black. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like in most places,
Right.
there's no like. You know what I'm saying? They don't black, white. It's no where you from. You know what I'm saying? So
It's
I need
tribal.
you know what I mean? And especially like she's young, she may not be very like socially aware like that, and especially like culturally aware of countries outside of her
American.
own. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's like one of those things like let's check back in 10 years after she's like a more mature adult who's had more
Experience life.
experience and can actually like really understand these things. But I feel like we're pressuring her to understand things on a level that like maybe she's just not there yet, and she didn't go through that personal she just didn't come up with that, right? So yeah, I never, if they don't call black people black, if they don't identify as that in South Africa, I can't expect her to come here and all of a sudden identify it because that's what we're used to. You know what I mean?
Yep, yep. We get caught up in a bubble, and it's like us too. Like we don't expect us to go out here and be privy to what goes on in other nations,
Mm,
social, hierarchies or
yeah.
social, ups and downs,
Mm,
or superlatives.
mm,
If we were to go, matter of fact, if we were to travel somewhere, whether with our complexions, especially you and I, with our
mm.
complexions, we just look racially ambiguous altogether.
Dog,
And
they speaking Spanish to me everywhere I go, bro.
yeah, bro, who you telling? ¿Qué pasó, man? ¿Qué lo que? Like, to the point where like they get mad when I don't talk it back. They're like, nigga,
Yeah,
why? I was
me
like,
just gay.
to the,
That's all I
you
got, bro.
bro, I feel like I should know. They be like, why? I'm like,
Bro,
you're right, I should.
bro, I'm on like
I be apologizing.
I'm on day 520 of Duolingo, bro. I still can't hold conversations in Spanish. I'm trying to be prepared for when I go to these Latin countries. I'm trying to tour in
Yeah,
Latin country, but I
you
don't
need
go
to,
when
because
I
we trying
go
to make you
there. I'm not
pitbull.
going as they don't look at me like I'm black. They look at me like Dominican or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely Dominican.
Yeah.
I identify as Dominican as my
Oh, do
Latin
you?
spirit.
Do you? Okay.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
Dominican.
Shout out to my
I
Dominican
like they
brothers, man.
food. Yeah, I like they food. I like to go. I'm like, yo, Dominican,
Yeah.
bro. Que lo
Shout out to
que?
Dominicans.
Que
I'm from.
fue?
My people are from the other side of the island, so we're.
For real.
I'm there with y'all.
Distant relatives.
Yeah, distant. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Um,
But maybe Tyler gets it together though. So shout out to her.
yeah, yeah. I have to look into that, but because I was hearing something, I didn't look into it. So I'm glad that you brought that up. That, but it wouldn't surprise me if that is something that really affected her sales. By the way, you know,
I can see it. I can see that, especially here in
yeah,
America.
yeah,
Especially when you mix that um with the economic turmoil that we're facing in this country, people have to make a
mm,
decision whether they're gonna, buy your album or buy a loaf of bread. Or they're gonna buy that loaf of bread.
yeah, yeah. I mean, and especially like it's I think being we're getting tribal. We're getting tribal again, where people are going to where like you got to claim me, and I'm gonna claim you, and we're gonna be in this thing together, right?
That's it.
Um, I think togetherness is just important right now because with everything going on in this country and that's going on in the world, you got to know who's on your team. So
Yes.
I think, if there's like this rich celebrity who's not claiming you and you feel like
Yes.
disrespected by that, which I think a lot of people, I guess that's what's happening. I'm not saying I agree with it, but I understand it, you know?
Right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
definitely
we can
understand
relate
it.
to it. Yeah, I'm
Yo,
definitely relate to that too.
and actually speaking on that, if you want to, we you sent me the stuff about Lil Yachty and what he said about George Floyd on his song, right? Talking about yeah, just talking about kind of being not in tune with the culture. I think did you
What
bring
that
up
remind you of?
what was
I
that?
did. So what that remind you of?
The beat that like Emmett Till, And you know, Lil Wayne is my goat. Lil Wayne, I love Lil
Wow,
Wayne.
I never knew that. I learned so much about you every episode. I like
Oh
to
yeah,
listen to
word,
it. I
word.
learn.
No, so yo,
Oh
shout out to the
wow.
viewers. Literally, viewers, you get to see me and Mike build in real time. You guys are just in on these
Yeah,
conversations
facts.
that we have. But yeah,
Facts.
no, Lil
Whole
Wayne,
fact.
I hold him in very rare, like regard. So
Rare.
you'll,
Wow.
yeah, it's be hard pressed to find me saying bad things about Lil Wayne. I just won't say anything at all before I say something bad about Lil Wayne. But except
Wow.
on this, bro, with the
Yeah,
Emmett Till
yeah.
line, it was. But Lil Wayne's just like Wayne's World is. When I think of Wayne, I just think of Wayne's World. Like he's really just in his own space. He doesn't really participate in society. He don't listen to music. Don't listen. Like he's really in
Yeah,
his own
yeah.
space. So
Oblivious.
you know what I mean. So he obviously should know better than to say some crazy, disrespectful, crazy stuff like that. You know what I'm saying about a man that was about a kid. Excuse me, about a 14-year-old.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who was done in that way. And you know the lady who said that Emmett Till whispered at her, which is what justified him getting beat to death and and thrown in that river or whatever, where they couldn't
She
recognize his
admitted
face.
to it. Yeah.
The whole thing was that he whistled at a lady, and on her deathbed she said that he never even whistled. Right?
Listen to it. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. And then so for him to put that in a song as like just a line, it's like, and I get hip hop. I get it's all about shock value. It's all about like the unfiltered. It's all about like what punchlines and metaphors and the outrageous things. Like that's the fun thing about writing. I don't criticize anybody's pen, but I guess this you like nah man nah. So
Yeah, man.
with this what do you remember what the
Hmm.
actual line was that Lil Yachty said?
Yeah, something like I put my knee on her neck, that George Floyd. I put my foot on her neck or whatever, like George Floyd.
Yeah,
It was
like
like it was like a sexual reference,
yeah,
but
yeah,
it's just
yeah.
like,
First of all, that's weird. That's
you
like
know,
a weird sexual. Like, first of all, don't do that. I mean, I'm not in your bedroom, so I'm not gonna criticize.
yeah, we ain't gonna
I don't
kink
know.
shame.
I don't know what y'all doing, but just like on that line, like what?
I was
You
about
know
to
they're
say,
talking about. You have like Candace Owens and what's his name, Ben Shapiro. You got people talking about how they should pardon Derek Chauvin, how Trump should pardon the dude who killed George Floyd. So you have that
no,
stuff out there. You got every time I see anything about George Floyd, it's a bunch of like people trolling, talking about,
yeah,
yeah, like you know what I'm saying. People
fentanyl.
disrespecting it, saying how like he deserved it or he OD'd
Oh
or he,
yeah,
what I'm saying, this and
yeah,
that. Like people
yeah.
really trivializing like what happened, and we all saw it on camera
Mm-hmm.
for what I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
for over 9 minutes. Four police officers were restraining them. You know what I'm saying? While one of them had their knee on his neck while he was saying he can't breathe.
Full
It was
weight.
like the
Full
most
weight.
nasty thing. You know what I mean? So to I don't know, bro. To think of that line is one thing. We all have crazy thoughts. We all, you know what I'm saying? Especially when you're a writer, you come up with some crazy metaphors.
Mm.
But that one should have came in and left immediately. You know what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
saying?
You supposed to yank your leash on that one. Like, oh, let
Yeah.
me calm down, or be
Yeah.
like, yo, y'all, how this sound? Niggas like, yo, chill, chill. You like,
You don't
all
got
right, bet.
nobody that's like the thing is
You bounce that off of like,
somebody had to have said something, but their thing was
the
like,
engineer.
this will get people talking.
Yo, engineer just pressing spacebar. Like, yeah, just spacebar command S, spacebar command S. Nigga, if you don't,
Yo, nah, actually, yo, this is a great example why you need to have a like
A and
a
R,
real
A
honest
and R.
A&R and sound engineer, right? So shout out like Shy Bugs and Peoples, my folk over there in at So Amazing Studios in Clifton. Um, you know, I get so much feedback while I'm recording. Even just like if I could say a line better, if I could, do whatever better, they're gonna pinpoint these things. I remember, like they work with a lot of dope artists over there, and Shy always talks about how you know certain people don't even like taking sessions with him because they don't want the feedback. They just want you to press the button and let them do
Press
their
the
thing.
button. No,
You know what I
no,
mean?
no. Talk
Like you
about it.
need people to make sure that you're on your P's and Q's. And I don't know
Yeah,
who Yachty got around him. And again, I don't like talking badly about artists because I'm not in their heads. And you know, it's not easy being an artist out here. But you, with what I do, George, what happened to George Floyd, like changed the trajectory of my life. You know what I'm saying?
it
That started
did.
me like doing a whole bunch of things like that. That affected me in such a
Seen it.
way.
I seen it.
So to hear that line, it's like, how do you miss it that much? And especially when
Yes.
it's like somebody as privileged as Yachty, like use that for good, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're supposed to be the mouthpiece for people who don't have a voice. You know what I mean?
That's-
I'm sorry,
It
I'm going
shows you
off
the
right now. Yeah.
no, 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 Scott. Rightfully, brother, because like you're firing on all cylinders there, because it becomes a level of disassociation. Like I said, that what part of your life or your fame that you reach where you think that things could just be said like that and go unchecked. I think again, like you hinted, people are back to saying things for the shock value of it.
Mm, mm,
And in regards to just not respecting this man's family and legacy.
mm-hmm.
It's still probably very much fresh in their brains. These people celebrating birthdays and holidays without him there. And in regard to even his birthday, like remember his birthday,
Mm.
his children getting older, and then you drop something like this. What if his children listen to you, bro? And then you say something like
Yeah, he's
that,
got like
you know,
I remember when George Floyd passed, I think he had a like a 10-year-old daughter or something like that. So you know she's
who's
listening to
15, 16. Yeah, come on,
yeah.
bro. And then people are bringing, yo, he says about your dad. On top of like, ain't no telling what she could be going through. People making knee jokes, all kind of stuff. Like, so I think like rappers, man, especially rappers, man. And I gotta hop on it too because it comes from hip hop culture. It's like you mentioned earlier, hip hop has done good for you. Um, and the sake of I say that because like things are constructed for purposes and those purposes are already set in place and people can't change what that is. Like
Mm,
people can't I can't take this microphone and say, yo, this is a bullhorn,
mm,
because they
mm,
kind of work similar. No, this is a microphone.
mm,
It's a USB mic. It blows into this USB and it allows me to project my voice onto this podcast.
mm.
That's what it is. I can't take this and then say, yo, I'm gonna sit this up here. Now this is a stand.
Yeah.
No, that's not what it was intended for. So I say all that to say, like, the intentions behind a culture, behind what rap and hip hop is for, have never been quote unquote good. Yeah, people
Mm,
have good intentions, like yourself. You have good intentions and you use this as a good catalyst.
mm,
But the way it was constructed upon has not changed from the birth of it to what it is now. It's always
mm,
been the same. It's
mm.
always been that same culture. It's about the people that contribute to it that paint it differently. Because you could say the same thing about other genres of music. You know, um, rock and roll. There's no such thing to me. You can't take rock and roll and say, "Yo, this is good rock." Nah, rock and roll. The term rock and roll is one night stand. It's
Yeah.
meant to hit something and roll, bro.
Yeah,
I'm a
yeah,
rock
yeah.
star, bro. Like, ain't no
Yeah.
changing that. Like, I
Mm,
don't care if you're a good rocker. The
mm,
nature of this, the essence behind this, is to be a rock star.
mm.
So Yachty to sit here and say that is you trying to say the most shock value thing to bring attention to, because you really, I mean, let's just keep it 100. Like, I don't listen to Yachty's work like that, and I think the one track that I did hear was like him and J. Cole, which is like his most quote
Mm,
unquote lyrical verse he ever spit.
mm.
So it's like when you're trying to constantly outdo yourself and remain relevant, like how do you do that? And I guess like with this whole drill culture, that one way to do that is just to be quote unquote disrespectful. To be
Like if you guys say shit like that to be like relevant, like you just hang it up, bro. Just hang it up. Honestly, that's how I feel. Just hang it up, bro.
pivot, bro. Pivot to something else, man.
Yeah, man.
Go pivot to
You
something
already
else,
made
man.
it. You're already writing for Drake. You're doing great things. Just like if you gotta like speak on people like that to stay relevant, then just hang it up, family.
And Drake, holla at us, bro. We could write.
Yeah, yeah. I let you.
Yo,
You know,
bro.
I know some people
Our
that are written
pens
for
work.
Drake, man. Yeah,
Yeah, same. Like same. Like for real. Like
yeah.
so and I've always thought, I know this is like kind of me doing that 180 thing I'll be doing, but it's a couple joints that I thought that you could have slid Drake's way, man. Just saying.
100%. 100%. That yeah,
Scary
that's for
movie.
another combo. Dog,
Yeah.
we said we was gonna keep it at like 30 minutes this time.
We lied.
Bro,
We
we have
lied.
not kept it
I
under an
lied to
hour
you.
20 yet. But for the sake of
All
not
right.
making this the longest one,
Yeah.
let's get
Let's
out of
wrap it.
here. I'm gonna drop this one tomorrow, so it's Tuesday right now. We're gonna drop this on Wednesday. We're gonna give you this episode here on Wednesday. We got another one coming for you on Sunday. We got to
Yes.
talk about. I really wanted to do a dive on because so Michael Worthy is the financial expert, right?
Oh God, Scott.
Hey, bro, you said it. You came on this thing and said I'm Michael Worthy, financial guru. I said okay.
Oh
Yeah,
God. I did.
damn
I
right,
know.
you
That is fact.
did.
And
Stand on that. I would love
me
to
looking
do.
at me like,
Now, I would love to do a deep dive on the Big Beautiful Bill because I
yes,
think that like
yes.
that whole thing is kind of like there's just so much stuff in the headlines, especially politically, and a lot of things in the Big Beautiful Bill. They don't. Some of them are retroactive, and some of them don't go into effect until like after the midterms and stuff. So there's like a lot of stuff that people I think don't even know, but there's things in there
Right.
that even as an artist that you can apply. There's things that in
Business.
there's different things that I think would be cool to discuss. Some things that I know, and I know that you'd have a lot of different insights on it as well. So I love to do a deep dive on that. And there's probably some other cultural stuff that we didn't get to. We didn't talk about Sydney Sweeney in them jeans. In
That
them
yes,
jeans.
in those
In
jeans
those
and
jeans.
British
Yeah,
Crocious.
I mean, I don't even know
Uh,
if if we're gonna want to talk about it at this point.
well,
I mean,
not, well, yeah, because I think it can be harped on in to a degree, because it kind of goes hand in hand in what you just mentioned with the big beautiful bill and what's going on in America.
okay,
It
yeah,
does, it
yeah,
does,
true. Because
and
it became political because everything is,
it
bro.
is. It
Yeah,
is.
man.
It is.
Yeah.
And also I want to harp on the financial thing before we get out of here. Guys, next episode, maybe you guys heard, maybe you guys have not heard about the quote unquote Navy Federal play, the Navy Federal flip,
Oh yeah,
that's
we
being
didn't talk
promoted
about
from.
that, bro. Yeah, yeah. No, Mike's been telling he's been telling me things for a while about certain people and the information that they provide, and yeah, no, we don't need to talk about that.
Because when I start getting Robert De Niro in the face,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it grinds my gears.
yeah. Nah,
But
let's
yo,
let's.
we gonna chop that up with y'all. It's really important, especially for y'all financial protection and education. So I'm looking forward to touching base on that for sure.
Most definitely. Thank everybody who has been listening, especially if you made it to the end of this episode.
All right.
We are the ill advised guys, and we are gonna be back twice a week. Make sure y'all subscribe, like this, share this to a friend. Also, we decided we are gonna be putting this up on Spotify, Apple podcast. It's gonna be an official podcast. We're gonna keep it as at a YouTube show, but I like you know what? Let's just we're
We
doing
got
long
to.
form anyway, man. We might as well just
Yeah,
put it
we
on another
do.
thing.
Yeah, because we got the audio listeners out there. They working, they driving long
Yeah.
drives. They out there. They sneaking their earbuds and
Yeah.
So it's important, man. And
Yeah. Yeah.
they wanna laugh and listen along with us, man. It's important.
So we gonna do that. We're gonna do that, man. So thank y'all for tuning in.
Much
It's your boy
love.
Scott Paul.
It's Michael Worthy.
Ill intent, boy. Till next time.
Peace.
Oh, stop. I have to hit the stop button.